morning. It's a beautiful morning again, and I'm just here scouting the area, and I wasn't expecting light, so this is quite good. And I have a agreement with myself that I would slow down. And when this light happens, I almost can't slow down, because I have to find a composition. And because I decided to make this video today, I actually trying to slow down and don't take a picture, or at least I'm not trying to run around like a crazy duck or something, or actually like my dog, and find multiple compositions. So I'm trying to relax and enjoy the views around me and just see what happens. And the thing is, I was preparing to shoot about disappointment. So when you get out and the weather is dull and you can't find any compositions and you go home with maybe nothing, and well, could happen that I go home with nothing, but the weather isn't disappointing. It's actually great. The floor, the ground is freezing, so we get this little frost on all the plants and the trees, and yeah, the sky was just exploding. So I think I'm going to improvise and try something different this video, and tell more about disappointment in the next one. Nikki, come! Hey, come here. This is my dog, Nikki. She's a small Munsterlander, and I have her almost 3 years. And she mostly goes on with a hike with me, but not always, because she's not allowed everywhere. But she's a joy to have with me, and she always stays with me, so that's pretty nice. Okay, I found a composition. I think it's not that great, but I like the shape of the tree, because it has some kind of curve in it. And I'm taking out the long lens, and since my Sony 7200 is broken and in for repair, I'm using a Takumar 7200 of over 30 years old. And it's manual focus, and for the settings I'm using ISO 100, of course, 1/60 of a second, and the aperture is f8. There's an aperture ring on the lens, so I can't see the aperture in camera. So just a simple tree with actually as a silhouette, and the background is just the sun, and that's actually it. Oh, a bird is sitting on the tree. I'm taking the shot. Okay, nice. And so a little overexposure. I want to get the highlights good, so I can use every detail in the photo. I'm just checking the sharpness by zooming in the picture, and that seems to be just fine, just a little bit off, so I'm taking another one. That's the difficulty with a manual focus lens. So, and the bird is still sitting there, so I'm taking the picture again. Okay, that's the shot. I was just walking around this area and I couldn't find a composition. So actually my disappointment subject was still on the go. 1 or 2 years ago I was just running around for compositions, even in dull weather, and often I came home with no good photo. I wasn't taking the time, so every time it was a little bit of a disappointment. Sometimes I had a lucky shot. So these days I try to be more careful with taking photos and just take a deep breath and see what I can find. And this helped me a lot. Well, I get less images, but the images I produce are most of the time better. That's what I think. Some other things you can do while the weather is disappointing: just scout the area, because when the next time you get there again, you know the compositions, or you know good places. Okay, it always depends on the light, but you can always also plan those things. So disappointment is in everything, in every creative job, but you can make the best out of it by planning. Take your time, don't rush it, and enjoy being outside. And I know a lot of landscape photographers are telling this, but it's so true. It's so much better than running around. Although once I had a great photo by walking and running around. So it's not always true, but most of the time it is. Okay, let's see if we can find something else. I haven't mentioned a lot about my journey as a photographer and where I'm heading to. The 1st of December I decided I'm going most of the time full-time landscape photographer, and 1 day a week I'm still a freelance designer. So 4 days and a weekend to do landscape photography. And I'm going to do a few things. I want to create a book, a photography book of a big UNESCO nature reserve, the Hondsrug, in the Netherlands. That's one part, and it's a long project. But I wanted to have a goal with my photography, and I like being out for nothing, but having a purpose, having a goal helps me going out, even in bad weather, scouting, and enjoy, of course. So that's one part. There is a little part, and this is YouTube channel. I'm doing this for fun, actually, and of course, maybe people like it, and we'll see what happens. But I have a lot more projects. But I wanted to mention the book especially because I told earlier about disappointment by getting out, or getting disappointed by not getting out. So you stay in bed because maybe the weather is not good, so I'm staying in bed. But I told about the inner critic in my last video, and that's also part of this process as a photographer. So I will link it here to my last video. But having a project helps. So planning, but also the planning of a project. And you still can get disappointed. But a lot of times you won't be disappointed because you get out early and see amazing light that you never expected. Like this morning. Okay, I couldn't find a lot of compositions, but that's okay. I'm standing in a pretty nice spot right now, I think. So enjoy the rest of the video and see you next time. Bye.